you what, folks, I can't believe I've not done this. I've just put out today's scores on the doors very, very late, and then I thought, oh no, there was something I meant to say regarding something that Flat Cap Callum said earlier today in his video that I thought was spot on. And then I thought, oh, there was a couple of things I wanted to say about ITV racing. Let me go with that first before I get too serious. ITV racing today. Bruff Scott did a cracking piece on Sandown. Did you see it? Went through flat racing first, and we got to the Eclipse, and anything with Mill Reef on it I love. So Mill Reef's shown there, so I'm in, is it Ecstasy? I'm in Evan. Like Mill Reef is, to be honest with you. Anyway, you see all clips of the great horses from the past. Shows you pictures of Piggott and other great jockeys, all the way up to sort of your Dettori. And then they're showing you the great jumps races and what have you. They've got Desert Orchid there, and Arkle, Millhouse, and all the greats. Tingle Creek, fantastic jumper. Really, really good piece. They go back to your man, don't they? Chamberlain. Oh, great piece there from Bruff. Great piece. We really love our Bruffalo, don't we? And I thought, why have you said it again? Every time he says Bruffalo, I want to knock the TV off its stand. I really, really do. It just sounds so sad. He just spoilt a wonderful piece for me. And then you had Chapman. Did you see Chapman going up to the guy? Was he an agent for one of the horses? I can't remember which horse. And he actually said, let me get it right because I'll get this wrong. Oh, I believe he's a big Neil Diamond fan. Diamond? Yes. Is it right? You've got Neil Diamond records and you have Neil... And I thought, Neil Diamond? Who doesn't know Neil Diamond's Neil Diamond? And I thought to myself, absolutely stupid. I just wish the bloke had pulled him up and said, no, his name's Diamond. It's not Diamond. Diamond. D-I-A. Neil Diamond. Unbelievable. And there was something else, wasn't there? Yeah, one of the viewers earlier sent me a message just as I watched the race. Said, have you realised the 240 today is named after Alistair Down? I hadn't realised. I'd just seen the race, and Sean Bowen had won it to get his hat-trick up. And I messaged the gent back. I said, it's funny, I've just this minute seen it now, and I've just seen your message. Didn't realise it was named after Alistair. For those that watch the channel know I adore Alistair Down. I thought he was brilliant. Think he's brilliant. He might not still be with us, but there's still always written material there. And every time I read a piece of Alistair's, I feel like he's with us. It's just fantastic. And I messaged back. I said, I now know because you've told me. I said, it's apt really. You've got an absolute superstar jockey winning the race that is named after an absolute superstar journalist, because that's what they both are. I seen the headline of a piece on the Racing Post the other day. I don't know if anybody's seen it. One of them professional gamblers. He's supposed to be one of the best in GB over the last 20 years. I know his name and I can't remember it, but you folk will have seen it. He'll remember it. He's very, very, very well known, although very secretive. And he titled a piece saying Sean Bowen, for his money, he said he's watched racing for 30 or 40 years. And he thinks over the last 30 years, Sean Bowen's judging of a race is better than anybody else that's gone before him. And he meant your McCoys, your Ruby Walshes, your Gerrities, all of them. He thinks Bowen is a genius. And I thought, that's some words, about Bowen when we've had such great jockeys. Right, back to Flat Cap. Yeah, I heard something today which surprised me. It flew in the face of what everybody's been saying. It's about this young kid from Ireland, that's got the dispute at the moment with Ladbrokes. Flat Cap wasn't saying whether or not they should pay it. Flat Cap came at it from a different angle. And it's weird with Flat Cap. When he says anything about anything, I don't always agree with him. I only find that I agree with him probably 9 times out of 10. But I think his words are always spot on, and I think he's a deep thinker and he thinks about it properly. And he said, the thing is whether or not they should be paying, he said, what I will say on the old subject is, he said, you've got a guy there from the stable putting money on horses. He said, and it doesn't sit well with me. I don't think it should happen. He said, let's face it, jockeys can't bet on horses. Many can't bet on horses. Now, you can say, well, jockeys can influence what the horse does, and they can. But he said a stable lad can do the same in some respects. He said, I just don't feel that people connected to a stable should bet on horses. And I can't say I 100% agreed with that statement, but I do know where he's coming from. I know where he's coming from 100%. And when you look at it from that point of view, I get that there's a chance of a fiddle. I get what he's saying. But what I would say on the subject is, for all I agree with him, at this moment in time, there's no ruling out there that if you work for a stable, you can't have a bet on your horses. So until there is, there's nothing wrong until there is. Morally, it might not seem right, but until the authorities stop you, there's nothing wrong. And what I would say is, Flat Cap wasn't saying whether or not they should pay the guy. Even if I agree that stable staff shouldn't be better than horses, I would disagree that if somebody said, well, Ladbroke shouldn't pay him because of that reason. I think they should pay 100%, like I said earlier this week. And I think they should pay just because he placed the bet, they took the bet. I've said it in the past, it's just like the old gentleman's agreement, the old shaking of hands. If you lose your money. If you win, you get paid to what the agreed amount is. And I don't think there should be a grey area. I really, really don't. Yes, he might have had inside info. Yes, there might have been a bit of cheating in that the horses have been held back before. That may well happen. But on the other end of the coin, the bookies have it the other way as well. I've seen something, folks, on the YouTube the other day. Has anybody been watching? You might have seen before the Simon Knott series from Star Sports. It's fantastic. I've watched many of them. Not all of them, but many. I think it's fantastic. I think Simon does a really good job. Really good job. He's doing something now more on his own, I think. I think he's had 13 episodes out. And he's just done one with our good friend Jeff Lawton. He's just done one with him. And it was pretty informative and it was pretty good. But Mr. Lawton's saying there how he gets many of his bets on. And I think he said a lot of his bets on are put on, is it Dickie Valentine? It's Summit Valentine. He's another professional gambler. And he said, Valentine, he said, I give him a lot of my bets and a lot of my money and he gets the bets on. He said, and it's only because he's got such a relationship with the bookies that they'll take the money. He said, without Valentine, I wouldn't get a hell of a lot on. Now, he's saying, Jeff Lawton, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But Simon Knott asked him, he said, you say, Jeff, on a daily basis, you have about 6 to 10 grand on. Is that correct? Or has it gone down now? He said, no, if anything, these months now, it's gone up a little, probably 20, 25%. But he said April, I think he said April to September, I bet more. September to April, I bet a hell of a lot less. So it's the lower amount or even lower again. He said, but these months are the months I put more on. And I'm thinking, well, if he's getting 7, 8, 10, 12, 14 grand on, he's getting a hell of a lot more than most people. But he said, no, he said, I only get it on because of Valentine. He said, but I think the way it works is when Valentine puts lots of money on, because when I bet, I give me bets to Valentine and he puts money on with them. He said, and I think what the bookies are doing, many of the bookies are happy to give him 2 grand here, 3 grand there, 4 grand there, because they know the information often can be pretty good, and then they work the odds accordingly. So what he's saying they do is, as I said in here the other day, some of the bookies sometimes are taking info from very, very, very good judges, shrewdies if you like, and because of that they're shortening horses. Now all the shrewdies won't be right every time, of course they won't. But if 4 or 5 shrewdies give 4 or 5 different horses every day, and they all shorten up on the back of that, if just one of them, or even 2 of them win, if they've shortened it up enough and they've taken enough for the rest of the book, they're going to be in front still. You know, they work in the odds to suit themselves based on the inside information they're getting from these shrewdies, if you like. Only what the lad's done there in Ireland. And as I said the other day, that's what they do. They want it always. They'll take info from those in the know, and they'll price up accordingly. So they're doing us. They're doing us because these shrewdies are putting them right, just so they can get bets on. But the other end of it is, if somebody from a stable has got some inside info that the bookies don't know about, and he puts his hard-earned on, and it comes in, they don't want to pay, because that lad has known something that they didn't know. Same way they know something off the Jeff Lawtons and the Valentines of the world. They think it's all right. It's all right when they're winning. It's no good when the punter's winning, which, as I say, is why I think the lad should be paid out. And Flatcap didn't say otherwise. But he did say it doesn't sit right with him when the stable are betting, and I get that. I do get that. But as I say, there's no law against it yet, and until there is, you pay the boy out. You've got to pay the boy out. Anyway, that's it from me. I will catch you tomorrow. That was a bonus one I weren't expecting to be doing.